guys, welcome to a new video. So today's video, I've got my Jimny over here. It has the m13a engine, I believe, or B engine, or the timing chain one. It's not the cam belt one. I think it's an A, m13a, and I bought the car with a misfire, hoping it was just going to be a coil pack or plugs or something stupid like that, because it drove absolutely spot on, apart from it was running on 3 cylinders. My friend actually helped me bring it back on his trader policy, and yeah, he seems to think that it could have been a plug also, or some sort of coil, but no, changed the coil and plugs without doing a compression test because I was so confident in it. And yeah, it turns out the compression test and cylinder 3, I believe it was, yeah, cylinder 3 had no compression. So I stripped the engine down to see it was a valve. I was like, oh cool, it's only a valve. Ordered a valve. I put the valve into the valve guide, and I was wiggling it around, and there was so much play that I took the head to the machine shop to get their opinion on it, and they said, yeah, it's excess play on near enough all valves. So I was like, brilliant. So I asked for a quote of how much that's going to cost, and it worked out to be more money to get the head done than it would be to get another engine. So I was thinking, well, why don't I just buy a second-hand head? So I looked on eBay of how much heads are going for. They're going for like £200 upwards. I'm thinking, that's more than the engine. So I just thought to myself, well, let me see what I could find online about engine swaps and stuff, and I couldn't really find anything, to be fair. I heard about the heads being slightly different and stuff like that, which I found out that the 1.6, the m13a and the m13a have a different head. But I was just going off pictures off eBay and the engine that I have. So obviously the head's in the car somewhere, I think it's in the boot. But the difference on the head is something to do with, once I strip it down I'll show you, but something to do with the EGR valve and stuff on the side of the head. The bit that bolts onto the head can be a different size, and so I took a risk and brought a 1.5 m15a Suzuki Swift engine, which I've seen some videos of it being a pain in the arse to swap, but by looking at pictures and stuff, I couldn't see on reasons on why this wouldn't work. So I'm not sure if the m16a has a different head and the m18a has a different head or not. I'm not too sure, but let's start stripping down, and I'm going to go over the changes you need to do to make this engine fit, to make the 1.5 engine fit into the Jimny. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to fit, because you can hear on the forums, and you can read about people changing the sumps and all the basic things, the pulleys here and there, and the clutch and all that sort of stuff. So let's see if I can make this. I think this come out of a 2005 to 2010, so it's quite new compared to a 2003 Suzuki Jimny. So let's see if we can make this engine work in the Jimny. So let's start by stripping it down, and we'll go from there. Right, so I'm going to start by stripping everything off of it. We'll break it down and see what's different and if this will even work. So this is the non-VVT engine that I think that I've ordered. So you can either get a variable valve timing or non-variable valve timing. So luckily this seller put the reg of the vehicle on eBay. So I put the reg into Euro Car Parts because I've got an account, so it'll tell you everything about the engine, and normally it states on there if it's got VVT or not, and it didn't say anything about it. So I'm praying that this hasn't got VVT. And if it has got VVT, we're going to see if there's a way around of deleting that and making it work. So let's start taking it apart. I'm going to put this aside and see if there's anything different from this one to the original one on the 1.3. try not to lose these. This is the for the injectors, so you can see where this is a spacer for the injector rail. There's two of them. I actually lost the other one of this on the 1.3 engine, so I'm quite glad to see that this is the same so far. So I'm going to keep this aside so I don't lose them. Oh. Right guys, I've got the engine on its side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the timing chain cover off. I do have a new chain kit for a Jimny, so what I might have to do is see if I can change the side cover so it doesn't have this solenoid, which I'm assuming is to do with the variable valve timing, which my engine doesn't have. It's non-VVT. So by looking at the engine itself, it looks like it's just a complete swapping parts here and there over. So I'm hoping I can just change this side cover with the 1.3 Jimny. It's got where the coolant hose would normally go through here. It looks like you just take this bung off, you change the pipe over, you take this off because you don't need it because the engine sits opposite direction. And yeah, we're going to have a look and see if this is VVT and if I can change everything over and see if the engine works or not. So I'm going to start stripping this down now, and then we're going to have to take a look at them and see. So it turns out it is VVT, so I'm gonna have to change the camshaft and everything over, but let's strip it down and see what I can come up with to see if we can eliminate this VVT system, which I'm pretty sure I can somehow. I just need to figure out a way how to do it. As you can see, it's got a variable valve timing pulley, but I'm not sure if there's anything different here. Let me get the new timing chain kit and we'll see if it's different or not. Well, it looks like it might work. Or is it this way around? This way. Looks like it will fit. Looks alright, you know. Looks good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change these camshafts to the original camshafts that come out the 1.3. I'm then going to change this cap here to the original, which is here. So that will get rid of this oil pickup that goes to the camshaft, which does the variable valve timing. And then what happens is this pipe obviously goes to the casing, which I'm also going to change to the 1.3. So I'm going to see if I can run the 1.3 casing, which I'm going to try quickly and see if the bolt holes will line up, otherwise it's pointless continuing. And if it looks like it's going to fit on, then I'm going to continue by taking the camshaft out, putting a new timing chain kit on, because I've heard as well as that the pitch on these camshaft is different to the chain pitch and the bottom sprocket pitch. Make sure you put these caps on the right way round. And then I'm just going to put this, hopefully, it gonna fit? Yeah, it does. Cool. Right. So that fits in there nicely. So I'm just gonna swap the bolts over. Very pleased about that. And actually, I don't know if I can use that bolt. Might be too long. No, it's the same size. All the bolts are the same, which is good. So, guys, my camera died, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the procedure of the timing. So when you take the timing chain off, I know I didn't show this previously, but because it's got variable valve timing, the timing will be slightly different. So because we're converting it, so what you want to do is you want to bolt the cams down. So you see, I don't know if you can see, but you see you've got the line there and a line there. You want that to line up with the actual head. You see the line below with the head. So you want to put the cams where the head is. Then you want to bolt the cams down. You want to do, not this, because this cap joins both cams together. You want to start with the inners. Don't go all the way down, just a little bit. And then the back, you want to do a little bit, and then you want to work your way in. And then tighten them up to 11 Newton meters. So that's all it takes, 11 Newton meters. Don't go any tighter because you'll snap the bolts. And then at the end you do this one up last. And then on this inlet cam, you've got a dot. So the timing chain has these gold links, which is brilliant. So you want to line up the gold link with the dot on the inlet cam. And then on the exhaust cam, you have this two little like grooves, and it's got an arrow on it. And you want to put that to the gold bit of the chain. And then at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, but there's a line on this sprocket here, and that goes to the gold bit of the chain. And then yeah, you just put the guides on. When you change this guide, the old guide will have like a metal sleeve, which you've got to take out the old one. Otherwise, where's the old one? There. It's got a metal sleeve that goes in it, and you need that, otherwise it's going to be wobbling up and down, and you don't want that. So let's compare the two side covers. So the original side cover has this bung, which they both have the same bung, and they both have the same hole in both of them, which is cool because we need our coolant pipe to come out of here, which will go across. So we don't need to take this off because we're using the original one, which will get rid of this solenoid compartment bit, or whatever you want to call it. But by looking at the holes on both of them, they look exactly the same, apart from obviously the old one has a camshaft sensor of some sort, which I assume will get picked up by these little grooves on the camshaft. So let's have a look on the other side and see what the difference is. This way. So, by looking in the back, the only two differences I can see is this bit here. Actually, well, from here to here is missing on this side, and I can't see. I assume the oil pump will be slightly different. But other than that, I can't really see any difference. So it's looking good so far, because bear in mind, I don't have a clue about these engines. I'm more of a Vauxhall guy, but I don't know anything about this, so you're learning as well as I am, so this is going well so far. So I'm literally just going to take the sump off, and then once I take the sump off and change it to this sump, the standard sump, which is metal, and that one's alley. The reason you change this, so I've heard, I haven't actually tested it out for myself, is where the dip is, apparently it misses the diff. You can see there the front diff. Apparently it misses the diff or something like that, which, to be fair, by looks of it, this would be on that way around, and you can see the dip is that side, so I can only assume that that's the reason for it, from what people are saying. So I'm just going to change it anyway. I don't want to try and put the engine in and then find out it doesn't work, so I might as well just fit that one, and then I know it's job done. As well as you have to change this strainer, which we'll come on to in a minute, to match this sump. Sump's now off. Looks quite clean underneath. So I'm just going to clean the area and then put some silicone based stuff underneath, and I'm going to clean the sump from the old one and put some silicone on there as well before I fit it. Obviously I've got to change the strainer over, as you can see they're different, and then once that's done we can start putting the timing chain cover back on and all the other bits that needs to be changed. And I actually noticed that the camshaft sensor on the 1.5 is actually on the back of the cam. So on the back of the, I think it's this pulley. Is it this pulley? Yeah, on this pulley, you've got the teeth where the pickup's done on the sensor. So we're going to leave that sensor in. Just obviously you can't plug it in because you're going to have that plug to plug it in. But yeah, so other than that, it's all alright. And I've got to change this as well. So some people say that you can leave this on and have a shorter oil filter, but I'm going to take this off, and the thread that's on where this filter is screwed onto on this, I'm going to try and see if I can take it off and screw it into the block, so it's like this. So yeah, we're going to try and see if we can get that to work. So both strainers are off. This is off the 1.5 engine, which is a completely different shape to this one from the normal Jimny one. It's literally just 2 Allen key bolts, and then this pulls off. Make sure that both of them come off with the O-ring, otherwise you end up putting 2 O-rings on. On it, and it probably won't suck as well as it should, as there'll probably be an air gap of some sort. So make sure just one O-ring is going on to the pickup for the oil pump. And I've cleaned down the Jimny sump as best I can. And on the timing chain cover, the standard one from the Jimny, which is going on the 1.5 engine, come with a new seal. So I just put a new seal in there, and I cleaned it mainly with a Brillo pad. You can get this off eBay, just a normal Brillo pad. It does it quite nicely. So I'm just going to put some sealant all around it and around the water pump as well. And I was just checking the O-rings around here, they all look okay, to be fair, so I'm not going to change them, I'm going to leave it. So what I'm going to do is put the engine on the floor so I can put the timing cover on, because I can't because this strap's in the way. And then once the timing cover's on, I can then put the sump on, because it works out easier that way. And then yeah, we'll go from there. So I'm going to start by taking off the EGR and the thermostat housing of whatever that is on the side of the 1.3 head and transferring it over. So let's transfer this over. The EGR gasket on this one ripped off, so I'm going to see if I can use... I'm going to see if actually if they're any different. I think they... Let's compare and see if they're any different. So this is the original. Look exactly the same. Even the plug's the same. I'm going to use the 1.5 EGR valve. I can't see the difference. Yeah, they're all the same. This one looks a little bit cleaner inside, but I just need to clean this surface up. I'm going to use the 1.5, and because it's got a gasket on it already, I won't need to pop around trying to order one of them and wait another day. So let's put this one on. And then another difference is that this one's done by 1 bolt and 2 nuts instead of the other one was 2 bolts and 1 nut. So I'm gonna have to find a nut to put on here also. So I'm just gonna clean this surface up, and then I'm gonna bolt all of this back up. Right guys, so I've taken off the oil filter housing off the new engine, the 1.5. So I've taken this housing off, and then what I had to do, I was struggling for a while so I didn't film it, but the actual threaded bit that's off the 1.3, I had to weld a nut onto it. It was stupid tight. I've never seen anything so tight. I didn't actually think it was going to undo. I thought I'd have to buy a new one. But you can buy these on eBay, so if you can't undo it, just order one off eBay. It's called like a oil filter screw or something, and you can buy it. But I'm going to leave the nut on so I can screw it into this engine after I put Loctite on it, and then I'm going to grind it down so I can take this nut off, and then just grind a little bit of the thread down, and then it should be good to go. So right guys, so I have got the oil filter screw in, and let me tell you, that was not easy. I don't recommend anyone to try that. It is a pain in the arse. You're better off just going on eBay and getting that bung screw, because I had the problem was, obviously when I was grinding it down, I was burring off the edges and stuff, so it took me a while to clean up the thread to make this screw on properly without cross-threading on. But I'm pretty sure now, literally just had this. This might be the wrong oil filter. Is the wrong oil filter? Oh, the other new one's here. Is this the new one? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for some reason it looks like this one was fitted. Yeah, it's all rounded off and stuff. So I ordered another one, and yeah, this one fits on there spot on. So screw that on. That's on there now. So that's the oil related thing sorted. And also that red sealant you saw me put on was actually crap. I didn't realise it was a soft compound. You see how soft it is still, where the black stuff that I've just put on, which is just normal silicone, has done the job nicely. So I'm waiting for the rocker cover gasket, which should come today hopefully. I've still got to clean this up because it's pretty bad. I'm going to start changing the auxiliaries over and see if I can remember what goes where, because I took this I took the auxiliaries off, must have been about 4 or 5 months ago, so I've had the car quite a while. So I'm just going to try and see if I've got any pictures somewhere. Right guys, so I found another problem. These rocker covers aren't the same. So I just had to order a rocker cover gasket, but now it won't come till tomorrow. So I was trying to think, why is it different? Why is it not fitting? But then what I realised is because you've got the variable valve pulley on the old camshaft, obviously it's got this bit of an extension, and so obviously to counteract that, I'm assuming that they had to, well, they would have had to make the timing cover be more outwards, and obviously if that's coming out more, the rocker cover is going to have to be out more. So we're going to be running the standard 1.3 rocker cover. Just got to wait for a gasket, and then we're going to be running the 1.3 flywheel, and then obviously everything else is from the 1.3 is going back on it. So the inlet manifold, the starter motor. So I'm just going to put the 1.3 flywheel on it, just so I know that the teeth on that flywheel is going to start the thing, because I don't know if the teeth on the other flywheel is going to be different or not. And I've actually lost it right here. And the actual clutch plate itself is different from the Jimny gearbox as well. So I've ordered a new clutch that should be on its way at some point. So while I'm waiting for all the other bits to come, we're going to start putting bits back onto this engine and see how we get on. So hopefully tomorrow we should be starting to get the engine back in. Right, so I've just switched everything over from the old engine to this engine. So the engine mounts, the alternator, the coolant hose and stuff. I've left the standard, whatever you want to call it, this tube here. This one's plastic by the looks of it, or it might be metal actually. It might be metal, I'm not sure. But I left the original one on the other engine. I just left it on there, it's just easier. I don't want to try and smack this one off and then smack the other one off and end up damaging something. The size is the same by measurements and stuff. I measured them, the size is exactly the same. So literally just push this straight onto the new one with some grease, so it pops on there nice and easy, without pinching the rubber or anything like that. And then change the water pump as well, because the water pump, the height was slightly different, and I don't want that to make any effect on the auxiliary belt that goes on there. And then I've just put the rocker cover on, waiting for a rocker cover gasket to come still. It was the one that come today was completely wrong, so literally just put this one back on, just put this back in there. And then once the new rocker cover comes next week, the gasket, I'll put the new gasket on. But for now it will do. I'm also putting, you don't have to do this, but I'm putting the 1.5 injectors on there. The injectors aren't any different apart from the colour. So the only reason I'm changing them is because I dropped one of the 1.3 injectors and it had put a little crack in it. I don't think it's going to affect it, but I can't be asked for the hassle, so I'm going to change just to the 1.5 injectors. You do not need to do it. And then I'm going to start putting the 1.3 inlet manifold, starter motor, all the wiring. Going to start putting it all back together. I bought a new clutch kit, just because you might as well just change it while you're there. I can't be asked to be faffing around and trying to get the gearbox out, because by the looks of it, it looks like a pain in the arse to change, and I can't be asked. Might as well just do it while I'm here, so I can't be asked just to faff around. So new clutch kit here, LUK. We're going to put that on. Oh, you need to put the, don't know if I mentioned it, I can't remember, but you need to run the 1.3 flywheel. I think I did mention it actually, but I've put the 1.3 flywheel on, and I've locked tight the flywheel bolts, because oil can seep through from the sump. So with oil flicking around and stuff, oil can come through the bolt holes, so just put some Loctite on there to stop that from happening. And yeah, I'm going to start putting the inlet manifold and stuff on, and then we'll go from there. As you can see, I've got all the inlet manifold, the injectors in, literally got everything back on and ready for this to go back in. So I'm just going to clear up, move some stuff around, and then change. Once I bring this down a bit, I'm going to change the release bearing with a new one, and then I'm going to fit the clutch to the flywheel. I'm going to put the engine in. Right, I didn't show putting the engine in. It's quite straightforward. It's the same as taking the old engine out. I'm sure there's, if you want to see a video, there's videos on YouTube or whatever. But I put the engine in now. Everything seems to bolt to it, not a problem. I haven't seen any problems. I've got the standard throttle body. The 1.5 throttle body is actually different. It's got a few like coolant hoses and a few other bits and bobs that come off of it. So by looks of it, it's different, but the size looks the same roughly. I didn't really measure it, but I just compared roughly. Yeah, I've literally just got to put some oil in it, which I'm going to do tomorrow, and she should be good to start, and hopefully it runs without a problem. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Right guys, so I've just put oil in it. I'm just going to go see if it will start now. If the battery, I don't know if the battery's dead or whatever, but let's have a look and see if she'll start. Where's the key? Brilliant, lost the key. Good start, I've lost the key. Not sure if I put it back in my box. Right, there you go. Right, so this is the first start. I haven't even started it, but I've got a feeling it might not run because I put the new fuel in it. When I bought this a while ago in lockdown and stuff, and the fuel shortage ran out of premium fuel, so I had to put normal with the new stuff in. Well, that doesn't sound too good, does it? It's gonna, I think I may have tightened up the throttle cable too much. So I'm just gonna loosen the throttle cable and then we're gonna try again. Right, so I actually had the throttle, too tight, so I've just loosened it on the cable, but still the engine didn't sound too good, to be fair. So I'm just hoping that it's just lack of oil circulating around the engine, so let's try again. Sounds alright. Yeah, so luckily it was just the lack of oil circulating. Obviously timing chain, it's done on the tension is done on oil pressure, so that's a good sign. And it sounds pretty good, to be fair. Can't see any smoke or anything like that. Surprised it started, to be fair. So just gonna let it run for a little bit, not too long, because I haven't got any of the coolant in it or the radiator. And then I'm gonna start putting all the radiator and stuff in. We'll put the coolant in, and then we'll take it out and obviously put the bonnet and stuff back on, and then we'll go from there. So I've got all the radiator and everything in, took all the levels and stuff. Just gonna let it run, get to operating temperature, let it cool down, check the coolant, check the oil, and that is, yeah, basically it. If you want to see more videos on what I'm going to do to the Jimny and stuff, I'm sure I'm going to be modifying it in some way, lift kit, not sure what else. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a winch on it or anything like that. I've actually got some different wheels, and then I can switch them between road and off-road. But yeah, she seems to be running alright. I might do a separate video for the drive, because this video is, I think, it's going to be quite long. That's why I didn't really show changing the engine and stuff. So all that information is online, not a problem. So, and videos and stuff of other people taking the engine out. I didn't want this video to be too long. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.